Well, joining us now, former Reagan White House political director, Republican strategist, Fox News political analyst, Ed Rollins, and Democratic strategist, Robert Zimmerman. It's good to have you both here.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Let's start with this poll. And I want to get sort of an outsider's perspective on it, Robert. I'm going to ask a Democratic strategist. Okay. Trump back on top in the Fox News poll, where he's been, but two recent national polls put him second. What do you make of it?
I don't make much of national news polls, quite frankly. What I'm more intrigued by is how the candidates are stepping up in Iowa and New Hampshire, because that really sets the stage.
Did you just brush off my question?
I did not.
Did you just wave your hand and dismiss my question?
I would never dismiss you or a Fox News poll. But I think, and Ed's the expert on this, I'm more intrigued by how Cruz and Rubio are moving up in this process. I think that's very indicative of the future, more than where Carson and Trump stand.
Well, it's good of you to take cognizance of those two developments in a poll that you initially seemed to be. I'm sure it was an entirely inappropriate judgment on my part that you were dismissing. Ed, do you pay any attention to national polls?
Sure, sure I do. They're about movement. They're about what's happening. They're not the end of the day. And a year from now, they'll be totally different. But I think what is amazing to me is, I, like a lot of other skeptics, thought that Trump would crash and burn real quick, and he hasn't. And he's back on.
But you gave that up weeks ago.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, even though I don't know what the hell's happening out there today. And I admit it on your show. 50 years of experience is totally irrelevant in this cycle. But there's a certain segment out there of our vote, 71%, that want outsider. And you got to understand that both Cruz and Rubio were outsiders too, in the sense that they were the Tea Party candidates. So you now, I mean, the amazing thing is that Trump has held this 25, 30% of the vote for a long period of time. He's still basically entertaining us out there, and people are taking it very seriously. And the more telling story when you get into the polls is that people think he's the guy that can fix the economy, and they now rate the economy as the #1 problem.
And they also think that he makes one heck of a leader on a number of issues. Let's turn to Kentucky. Kentucky, where Matt Bevin, the outsider Tea Party candidate, ran unsuccessfully against Mitch McConnell, now the Senate Majority Leader, in 2014. He was told he couldn't do anything. Everybody, the experts were saying, "Poor Matt Bevin. He's following a Quixote-like dream." And here he is winning by a huge margin over another practiced professional Democrat.
Look, let's be very clear. It is never easy for my party to give up a governorship, nor for the Republican Party. It was a loss for my party to lose Kentucky. But here's what's most telling. If you think, looking at the national picture, Matt Bevin and the issues he ran on with the support of Kim Davis, whose claim to fame, of course, was trying to not follow the law of the land.
Are you about to bury one of your own?
Kim Davis is not one of my own.
No, I'm talking about Conway and the candidate who lost to the governor.
No,
did we follow?
No, I'm saying to you that it's no question. It's a Democrat. It's without question a loss for my party. But it also indicates why my party is going to win the presidency, because the issues Matt Bevin
I can't wait for this leap of logic.
The issues Matt Bevin ran on, the demagoguery, the bigotry, and the extremism is what keeps the Republicans out of the White House and will ultimately help the Democrats win back the Senate.
I just want to remind you, if I can take 30 seconds.
Sure, please, I've been looking forward to this.
Republican governors are now 32, which is a high number. Democrats 17. Since the president came into office in 2009, Democrats have lost 69 House seats, 13 Senate seats, 910 state legislative seats, 30 legislature chambers, and 12 governorships. So I think it's one more day that's not a very good day for your party.
As a matter of fact, let's also put in perspective, we've also held the White House now for 8 years. In fact, Democrats have won the presidency in Only seven so far, but Democrats have won the vote in 5 of the 6 last presidential elections, have held the Senate more than not.
But you're not responding directly to Mr. Rollins' point, which is it's been a devastating cycle here for Democrats.
Actually, I would argue that, yes, gerrymandering has made it very tough for Democrats to win certain states because of the way districts are drawn. But in terms of the U.S. Senate, in terms of the presidency, Democrats are doing pretty well because Republicans just keep making the same mistake. They're playing to the Tea Party, Rush Limbaugh crowd, folks who are sitting stoned in their parents' basement on Twitter versus talking to the mainstream of America.
Just to put it in the proper perspective.
Children stoned?
No, I said people stoned in their parents' basement on Twitter.
Oh. Just put it in the proper perspective. In my lifetime, and I'm the oldest one at this table, there's been two two Republicans in my lifetime who've been governor of Kentucky. We now have the third. That's a long, long time. That's one of your states when it comes to internal statewide politics, and you got wiped out a lot of different places.
But here's the good news for Kentucky. They can make amends. They can vote a Democrat back in 4 years. I'm not worried.
But the issue, again, we shouldn't walk away from the issue. The issue was Obamacare. Right. And it was front and center from start to finish, and it was a total rejection.
And the president got reelected on that issue, too, as I remember.
No, I don't think so.
We didn't even take up gun control and the millions that Bloomberg shipped into Virginia to help out his buddy and that of Hillary Clinton. One Terry McAuliffe.
The great governor of Virginia.
Great governor of...
Who lost 3 Senate races yesterday, but that's okay.
Like the greatest...
I could do this.
I'm sorry to have to use my notes.
But we carry on. Robert Zimmerman, good to have you.
Good to be with you.
I think partisanship is alive and well in this country.